And
And
here we are. I'm not
he,
really sure what episode this is, to be honest. It's like maybe 58.
where? So Dan had his health scare right after.
This is no, this is 55.
Okay. Yeah,
So
55. Episode 55. What is the
yeah,
last episode we did? Was that short one where we were just like it was a
it was
15-minute?
audio only. I think it was right after I got the good news at the doctor,
Okay.
and it was audio only. And I've had people reach out to me and say, "Look, I really missed the video." So I had to find a more I had to
Yeah.
find a more cost-effective version because StreamYard's expensive.
People
And
were clamoring to look at this,
yeah,
right? They were
yeah, yeah.
clamoring. They're like, "Man, I really need to look at these two guys."
So it's interesting, Bruce. I got this amazing news a week ago, a little over a week ago, the
All
27th
right.
of March. Basically, that I don't have any more medical worries. That and I have another recheck in 5 months, but that's really just to check the stents to make sure they're grown in.
Yeah.
Um, but at this point, like I have no restrictions. I can do what I want.
Right.
Um, but I'm just struggling with anxiety still, the same way I was prior to the good news.
So like
And
residual anxiety where you're stuck in this sort of fight or flight mode, I guess.
I'm stuck in a mode. That's correct. That's how it feels. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it feels. And I can't figure it out because it doesn't make sense. Um, I, so I'm in a support group on Facebook of brain aneurysm survivors.
Yeah.
I actually started a podcast called the A Team Brain Aneurysm Survivor
You're
Podcast.
branching out without the goy?
I'm branching out without the
Oh my
goy.
god, I don't know how I feel about
But no,
that.
what I do is each week I have on a guest or two who survived a brain aneurysm, and we sort of compare stories.
I
Um,
mean, that's nice. To be serious, that's nice.
well, look, the more information we get out there, the better, because these things kill a lot of people.
So this isn't a
And
goofy podcast. It's more like this is like a
no,
serious.
very serious, trying to raise awareness about this, what to look for.
Well,
Like
that's
if you
nice.
get a really if you get a really bad headache and it won't go away and it's not like one you've had before, it's something to at least know about. Like, hey doc, could we check and see for an aneurysm?
Right.
Because you don't want to find out you have an aneurysm because of a rupture. And that's what
Man,
happened to me.
when it happened to you, it's terrible because I mean, how self-centered we all are, but it happened to you, and then immediately I'm like, that's terrible for Dan, but what if this happens to me? Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, because
Well,
I'm older than Dan, you know?
yeah. Well, it's just you need to know at least what to look for. I've done a couple of episodes already, and I have another one tomorrow. And I'm basically reaching out to people. My support group has like 15,000 members, so I'm reaching out to people in there, and I'm saying, "Hey, anybody want to come and guest and be on the show?" And people,
Is this new side podcast getting more views and action than the Heave Goy show?
we're getting more engagement because people tell their families and they watch it.
Right.
But like
Wow.
I'm trying to do some good, honestly.
Oh, you know
Um,
what? Wow. That's not something we would hear from you about a year ago,
no,
right?
I'm trying to do some good, and I think raising awareness. The other thing I want to do is talk about the stuff that helped me, like the techniques and things that helped me. Um, you know,
That's what you
in
talk about
d-
on this on in your other
well,
podcast?
yeah, we talk. We share experiences, what we went through, the things that we did that helped us. That helped us get through it. Because I mean, these people understand. They went through the same thing I did.
Are you the only drugs you're on right now are the blood thinners?
Mm-mm. I'm on a cocktail. I still have a lot of. We still need to keep my blood pressure down. So I'm on a bunch of blood pressure meds, and I'm on the blood thinners. and a couple other undisclosed meds
Right, right.
to help me with the anxiety.
Well,
But
you
I wanted
seem,
to
yeah,
week.
I'll be honest, you seem less loopy than there was one or two podcasts a while ago where you were heavily sedated. I forget what it was.
I wasn't sedated.
Well, I mean, you definitely weren't the same Dan. I mean, I could definitely
Well,
notice.
if it was during the month of March, I was not the same Dan. I was living in constant fear. I was
I
experiencing
forget.
just
No, I know it was, but I was trying to lighten them. I forget what it was. I was trying to crack some jokes about about poo or something like that. Normally, would have gotten a big reaction out of Dan, and it was just like nothing. I'm like, oh man, Dan is.
yeah.
So I'm glad. I'm
That
glad to
was
have you back, buddy.
during the month of March. It was crippling anxiety.
Yeah, I
For
can
good reason.
imagine.
For good reason, man. I
Fuck
mean,
yeah.
my neurosurgeon was like, "Look, man, we got to take this. You got to do nothing and keep your blood pressure down." And he told my wife it could rupture again, and that's that's a terrifying prospect. So,
Yeah. Well, good.
um,
I'm glad that has been rectified and you are on the other side, and that is
I'm
good.
on the other side. I'm still trying to work through it. I have a my therapist was out of town last week, which was inopportune. But she's back tomorrow, and I have a really good therapist, and I've got to work through this. There's something lingering in my head that doesn't seem to want to go away, you know?
Mm.
And I've got to find a way to work through it to where I can cope with this shit and not have to use meds to help myself go through the
I mean,
day.
yeah, that's a therapist thing for sure. So you see her like once a week?
Once a week, probably going to go to twice a week, but you
Yeah,
know,
that'd be helpful.
she's really good, man. She's been super helpful to Kara and to me. Um, I haven't talked to her since I got that checkup. So
Bro, do they have
tomorrow,
groups? Well, like, do they have groups like you know how like 12-step groups have physical meetings where you go and you like sit in a circle? Like, do they have that for like brain aneurysms?
I have
Or
no
like maybe
idea.
maybe they have one for like general medical. Like have you seen the movie Fight Club, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So remember in Fight Club, the guy Ed Norton, he keeps on going to these different 12-step groups just because it's like he gets to cry or he gets something out of these 12-step groups, and some of them are like one of them's cancer, one of them is survivor's guilt. I mean, he just goes to a bunch of them, and because they're helpful. Uh but there's got to be one that's just like a general, like a medical scare or survivor from a sketchy medical thing
I mean,
type group, and I would
I would
imagine that would
definitely,
be helpful.
I would definitely consider something like that. My situation's kind of weirdly unique, you know, because I'm past the
Yeah,
point where I should be worried, but I just can't seem to break free. And I think it's what you said. I think my body and my brain are trapped in fight or flight survival mode. And
yeah.
it's really, really hard to overcome that. So,
You're
we'll
constantly
see what
trying to remind. Yeah, you're constantly trying to remind yourself. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
right. Right. And it's really worse. It's worst at night. I do pretty good during the day, but at
Yeah.
night, ugh, it's tough. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, just driving myself crazy about
Like
shit that doesn't
panicky.
matter. Not panicky, but sort of ruminating over shit that pretty much doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let me give you a good example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we have decided that we're sick of the RV and we're going to rent a furnished house
Oh, good.
uh, from May 15th to like June 15th, and that should take us at the to the end of construction.
Sure.
Of So by the time we're done with that house, our house should be done, and that
Love it.
means I can go ahead and sell the RV.
Right.
That'll be great. Get that money, and so I last night I'm just sort of lying in bed and I'm thinking, wait a minute. So we're gonna go stay in this house that's like 15 minutes away.
Uh-huh.
and we're leaving all of our shit. Like the pigs are still going to be here, the chickens are still going to be here.
Oh, so there's anxiety because all there'll be a house on like right, like I see what you're
A
saying.
house under construction, and my mower and all my equipment is just going to be sitting there
So you're worried
out.
about like it's good someone gonna fuck with it, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, because like
I mean that's
anyone
a
could just
fucking
show up
valid
and
thought though, right? That's fucking I think that's valid.
it would be valid normally, but we're in a rural area and
Oh right.
we're tucked at the very back of a 10-acre lot. You got to drive literally about a quarter mile to even get to where all that stuff is
Do you
once
know
you
your
drive onto the
neighbors?
land.
I know your neighbors are far away,
Yes,
but do you know them?
they're very nice. Yes, our neighbors are nice people. Yep. Hmm.
That's
Yep.
okay. That's gonna absolutely help in this matter. If you're like, hey, listen, we're going to rent a house. We're not going to be here for the next couple months. Really would appreciate it if you can sort of
Well,
keep an eye out.
we'll still be here almost every day because I got to feed the pigs and we got to check on the
Yeah,
chickens, and so we're still going to come here. But and bear in mind, every day there's construction people here. So
yeah.
now, not on the weekends. So I talked to one of my redneck buddies, and I said, "What would you do?" He said, "Honestly, where you are, I really wouldn't be too worried about it because you're rural. You're in the middle of nowhere. Your neighbors are nice people. It's not like they're going to rat you out that you're gone." And
Right.
he said the most I would do is just get a good chain, get a good padlock, and just chain your mower and your John Deere and everything together so that people
Yeah,
can't run off. That's it.
that's a good one. That's true. I
So
would do that too. Yeah. So you wake
yeah.
up in the middle of the night, you just kind of worried about this shit. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. It's so that's the type of thing where really if I were that worried about it, I would cancel the rental house and I would just stay here. But I don't want to do that because the rental house is going to be way better for my mental health. You know, it's a
So
nice
yeah, I mean,
house.
so
We
I get it. So now you're doing like two things. So okay, it's like you got to do things to balance the mental health. I get this exactly. I know. So you're like, okay, get the hell out of the RV and get into a house. That's going to help mental health a lot. But I will be worried about my stuff as opposed to living here in this RV with the dogs and it's just stressful. And it
yeah.
probably is. I can imagine if you're visualizing like a fucking, I bet getting the rental house and being happy because you're in a rental house and just worried a little bit about your stuff is a lot less stress than continuing to live in the RV 24/7 with the
Yeah,
fucking dog.
especially given the low chance of shit happening. The guy that I talked to, my redneck buddy, he's kind of like you where he prepares for everything, right? And
Yeah.
he sort of assumes the worst, and like I'd call him like a not a prepper but along those lines, right?
Yeah.
And he said that I really don't have he said here's what you do. You leave a car on site, right? Which we're going to
Mhm.
do anyway. We're going to do that anyway. Leave a car there. Someone will think they'll think somebody's there. And just chain the equipment like to the barn
You know
or
what else is
together.
really good? You get the, so inside the trailer will have electricity and they'll have a light. You can get a really simple timer that you plug it in and it turns the light on and off at night.
Well, the trailer will be gone. We, so
Oh, the
we,
trailer's gone. Okay.
yeah, so we're going to, once we move into the house, we're going to come back, we're going to empty it, store all the shit, and and then the people are going to consign it. They're going to come pick it up and take it away.
Well, I mean, at some point, like, there's got to be a light somehow. Either there's a light in the new house or there's a light on a pole by the pig. You got to get some sort of light going on at night on this property.
Yeah, I can probably make that
Yeah.
happen.
So cool. Good to hear. Don't you want to hear
But
about? Don't you want to hear about me buying? You want to get back to me buying shoes off Facebook Marketplace, or
I
I
always
mean,
love
are we
those
still?
stories. So
I mean,
yes.
how long are we going to milk this aneurysm and talk about it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to milk it. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. No, tell me about the Doc Martens, man. I saw that and
Dan, I'm kidding.
grown.
Yeah, you need to talk about the aneurysm more, then that's fine. I'm just fucking
No,
with
that
you.
was it. I just wanted to give you a little insight into what's going on in the old noggin, and
I would be
you
stressed.
know,
You know what? Honestly, I'm a worry wart. Like I fucking worry about everything and anything, and I'll just worry about shit that doesn't need to be worried about. It's just what I do, and I can't even imagine. You know. But it's strange how I don't worry about the things that matter. Like, am I worried about how, like, my income, where the next $1,000 is coming from? I don't know. But I do worry that I didn't like pick up that stick on. I have like an OCD thing going on now. That's like I'm noticing like it gets. Ro was just gone for a couple weeks, right? And I
yeah.
was left alone in the house for a couple weeks. I got a couple stories. I forgot a lot of them, but okay. So So I know Dan has made fun of me in the past about buying footwear off of Facebook Marketplace because it's gross. And it is kind of gross. Dan rightly gave me the business about doing this because I've done it once, I've done it twice now, and Dan just can't believe it. So I wanted to tell Dan that it happened again. It happened a third time. I'm scrolling. I don't have any money, but yet I like scrolling through Facebook Marketplace because there's good deals in there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's fucking deals. So I'm scrolling around, and the the algorithm on Facebook Marketplace is as such to where it somehow knows what you want to look at. I don't know. It's just like, hey, here's some boots, and it was a pair of Doc Martin
Mm,
boots.
yeah.
And like back like and Doc Martin boots are like a punk rock boot. Like, anyone from the 80s knows like that's what you wear. And Dan, back then they were expensive as fuck. I remember you'd had to go to St. Mark's Place in the fucking city to get these things. And
Yeah, they were very
they were
expensive.
like hundreds of dollars. But I think what happened was is that the Doc Martin company sold the patent to like you can get the good expensive Doc Martin boots that are still made in London but most of them are made in China or whatever, and they're like $30. I don't know. All I know is I'm scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. It says brand new Doc Martens, $40 sliced down to 15. I'm like,
Oh,
God damn, how can I turn? And there were pictures of them, and they were brand new. Like there wasn't fucking, and they were in the box new. Like soles were fucking crisp and everything. I'm like, God damn. So they were a size too big though. They were size 11. But I don't know how my feet are getting bigger. I don't know. So I meet this guy in a parking lot in Tempe at a Thai food restaurant, you know, and some like young 35-year-old, it's fun, young 35-year-old big fat guy gets out, tattooed from head to toe, and I could tell he's my kind of guy, you know what I mean, from the stickers on his car and whatever.
right.
And I'm like, oh, cool, man. And so he busted out these things, and I tried them on instantly. I'm like, these are too big. But they just felt so comfortable. I'm like, oh, fuck, $15, dude. I'll buy them. So I bought them and I've been wearing them around and they're fucking great. And I need a new pair of boots because my old boots that I wear for Wasteland Weekend, I've gotten so small that I've damaged two of my toes last time I went to Wasteland because of these boots. And that's not going to happen again because I went to Facebook Marketplace and bought some boots. And that's my fascinating boot story, which is not nearly as good as the Vans story. I can tell by your reaction to said story
No,
because
no,
it didn't get any fucking reaction.
this was the, as Facebook Marketplace goes, this was as normal as it gets. You met a
Yeah, it wasn't.
guy, he wasn't too sketchy.
I'll hit
Yeah.
you with another story real quick. So Ro's gone, right? Ro went to DC to go to like look at monuments and stuff for a couple weeks. I'm alone in the house. And I wasn't doing it's weird. I wasn't doing mentally well. I was doing a lot of sleeping. I felt lonely. It was fucking weird. Usually I think I love being in the house by myself. She's not here. I could do what I want. Dan, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any art. I did fucking nothing. I just sat around, I slept. And I just sort of bed rotted all day, which is enjoyable in its own right, but I did it too much. I mean, it was 2.5 weeks. Didn't do any art at
Hmm.
all. But anyway, during the part of it, like I was getting like really hungry for some sweets. I'm gaining weight like a mofo. I'm like 172.
Oh
And
no.
oh yeah. So putting up the picture of me. Please don't. Okay, good.
Sorry, no, 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 no. I hit button accidentally. Go ahead. Continue.
I thought you were getting ready to put more unflattering pictures of me up there, which
No,
is
no, no, no,
your
no.
move. So, okay. So I'm wanting sweets, I got a sweet tooth. I'm like, fuck, I want something sweet. And there's nothing sweet in the house. And I'm like feeling super lazy. I don't want to get in a car, and fucking drive to the store. It's like 11 at night. So then, Dan, now, have you ever done this, Dan? Have you ever made chocolate chip cookies from scratch for yourself?
Of course.
All right. When's the last time you did that? That
Well,
must have
I
been
don't do it.
decades
It's
ago.
tough. It's tough to do that in the RV. So it's been not since I was in the other house.
Oh, so you probably have done it within the past 5 years.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
All right. I haven't done it probably in a decade, and it occurred to me. I'm like, fuck, I haven't made these in a while. I don't know what to do. Found a recipe. I went through all our fucking stocks, our food preps and whatever. Found the brown sugar. I'm like, Jesus, these cookies. And it didn't occur to me. I'm like, these cookies are 90% sugar and butter. Like, that's pretty much,
That's it.
you know. So I had all the ingredients to the cookies. And Rose got this flour in a big jar. She's gone. She's in DC, and there's this big clear jar with white powder in it. I don't know that it's flour. I don't. So I'm Googling, how can you tell something's flour? I don't know. So I'm like mixing with water. I'm sticking it on my tongue. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is flour. It was flour. Point of the story is that I made cookies from this recipe, and they were fucking delicious, Dan. But oh no, what's he doing? Yeah, see, I love this meme
Yes.
because I love this meme because I'm a big do nothing guy. I did absolutely nothing today, and it was everything I hoped it could be. I love
Yep.
doing nothing. I just
Yep. I
really
know you
love it.
do. I know you do.
And so, like, if I had a brain aneurysm and they told me you need to do nothing for a month, I think I'd be well suited for the task.
You would. You would.
But but anyway, so I made these cookies and I found the recipe. Rose got these recipes like in a paper thing, right? So I called her the other day. I'm like, hey, I made the recipes. I made the recipe for cookies. She goes, you halved it, right? What do you mean halved it? She's like, when I make it, I half all the ingredients because it makes too many cookies. Did you do that, Bruce? I'm like, no. She goes, that makes 80 cookies. I'm like, yeah, it's great. So I made 80 cookies and just had 80 of these fucking cookies. And like, when they come right out of the oven, they're like really crack like. They're so fucking good when they're soft. I ate about a dozen, right when they came out of the oven. Just, and the addict in me shows up when I'm eating sweets. Like, I don't give a fuck about the repercussions. I'm just eating cookies and my stomach hurts so bad and I'm still eating cookies. And
Mhm.
then like I'm drinking Pepto Bismol, I'm taking Tums. I'm like, fuck. And it's still shoving cookies down my mouth. So I made 80 cookies and I finished them in like, they were gone in like 6 days, bro. Fucking. And Ro was like, how did you eat 80 cookies in 6 days? I'm like, I don't know, man. So those are my two fascinating stories. I'm sorry that
I
about
don't
that.
know, man. I don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
You got to
So let's
watch the
go.
sweets. You got to watch the sweets.
Yeah. And I had a good doctor's visit like a month or two ago when I had my checkup, and he looked at my last blood work. He's like, "You're totally cool," but he goes, "I want you to get new blood work," and I was supposed to do that like I don't know a month ago, and I never did it. But what I'm doing right now is I'm getting ready to go to in 3 days I go to East Jesus for a month. Who bringing you the food?
You know who that is, right?
That is Dr. Now.
All right, good.
We love Dr. Now. Now
We do.
from the name of the show is called, is it My 600-Pound Life?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something about Ro.
He would not approve of you eating all those cookies, Bruce.
So you know how we do a podcast and it's like, we're just two straight white men doing a podcast. It's like the worst, right? Um, Ro watches podcasts too. And Ro watches these. This is crazy. She watches there's a podcaster whose name is Amber Lynn Reed. She is a 600-pound, 35-year-old woman who creates content, and she just like eats on camera.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and she has a lot of haters, you know. And it's a very long, complex thing, but she's got a lot. It's a very, very big account. Everybody watches this. So Ro watches reaction channels to the Amber Reed stuff. So, and it's usually gay dudes, right? There's usually like these gay dudes who like to hate on this big woman and call her out on her shit. And Ro
That's
watches them.
interesting.
Uh,
Gay dudes are mean to her.
Gay dudes are very mean to her, and it's great. And so, but like Ro watches these podcasts around the clock. She's got a laptop like this in the kitchen when she's making food, and she's like watching these gay dude reaction channels to Amber Lynn. And it's such a niche thing. I think about like our podcast, like how we're doing a podcast, and no one listens to our podcast. But the amount of people that are listening to gay dude reacting channels to this fat woman are like they are hundreds of thousands of people that are listening. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy content. And it made me think about our podcast. And I'm like, wow, we just have these boring conversations. But I mean, I know some of our podcasts were pretty good. I mean, our best podcast when we were talking to Christine about the
Hunky.
milk, the milk. Yeah.
Yeah, the milk.
By the
I
way,
mean,
what do you think? Well, what
we
do
have
you?
a small but dedicated audience.
Okay. What have you? Do you think in your health condition that we should be focusing on things that irritate us and make our blood boil? What do you think about that?
I think I have to continue to be myself, and like
That's valid.
just because I'm trying to be more positive in my life, and I'm trying to I've been given the gift of time, because look,
Yes.
I very well could have died, and I want to use that time with whatever I got left in this on this planet to try to help people and help animals and
And to do
do good
good.
and to do good. And like that's the case with me with careers. I'm starting to look for stuff that's like nonprofit
Hold
and
on. Are you looking for jobs? Are you,
start. I did start. Yeah.
Dan, your sponsor?
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
looking for jobs?
Because I can't be unemployed forever, Bruce.
Yes, the fuck you can.
Oh my God.
Yeah, listen to your sponsor.
But you have Ro, and she stocks the house with food, and I don't what.
You have Rowan. She stocks the house with food.
Like, don't isn't that true? Like, you can go to Romart and get whatever you want.
It is true. Like, I don't, yeah, it is kind of true.
So, I
It's
mean,
just funny the way you said that. I don't know.
I I I'm operating on a weird plane right now where I'm stressed about the fact that for the first time in my adult life I have no income, right?
Yeah.
But but I'm also acutely aware that I need to take time off, right?
And
I
you've never
need
taken
time.
time off. You've never taken time off in your whole fucking life, probably from
Never,
college, right? So right,
never,
so like you didn't do
never.
like what I did and spent 10 years touring with a band fucking off. You didn't do that. You
No.
fucking
I
worked
need
career.
I yeah. I
No,
need to take the time
bro.
to mentally, emotionally heal. And I know that. I know that. I'm not denying that. But it's hard to shut down that part of my brain,
The
And
nonprofit stuff is good. If you think about pigs and rescue and this kind of thing, it doesn't have anything to do with money, but it's more to keep your brain occupied. That's fine. As your sponsor, I will say that's fine.
yeah. So I I'm still torn on how that's going to go. Like, I know at some point, I don't know how long it'll take, something's going to turn up. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm telling you, the job market is worse than I have ever seen in my
Oh, and
line of
it's not
work.
going to get better. So why even make yourself worse, like by looking at it and stuff like? I just,
In my line of work, like I am routinely seeing people commenting and saying, "Hey, I've been a coder for 25 years, and this is terrible, and it's the worst I've ever seen, and I'm just quitting that whole line of work, and I'm going into a blue collar profession. You know, I'm gonna do pressure washing, or I'm gonna do yard maintenance or whatever. Like,
Pressure washing sounds awesome, actually.
but like, basically like starting a business where you're serving your community and it's a service business. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I'm so fat.
uh-oh.
So she
That's
just made.
interesting. So you're only you're only about 20 pounds lighter than me now.
So I'm 5'9.5". And when I was in really good shape and I go to Wasteland and stuff, I got down to 155 at Wasteland. When I'm at Wasteland, I'm running around in that outfit, right? That's 155. I got on the scale, I'm 172. And that's because I'm at home eating cookies. And she just made a tray of enchiladas, from scratch enchiladas. And I must have had like fucking four of them, just fucking cookies.
Yeah, yeah, you got to watch
Sleeping
it, Bruce. You don't want to end up like one of those people on that TV show.
there.
Hey, Darren, you got to lose 30 pound in 1 month. Um, yeah,
Oh,
I
Dan.
mean,
Okay. So when is your house going to get finished? Like it's in June or July? There's no hard
no,
date.
no, 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 no. So he's shooting for May 31st.
Oh, but the party will be clearly after that,
If
right? Like,
if there is a party, it would be after that. So he's shooting for May 31st. He said he can't guarantee it because it's construction and you never know what's going to come up. But I said to him, we're going to rent a house. And I said, what date would you be comfortable with where it's highly unlikely you're not done by then? And
yeah,
he
that
said,
that always runs late though. But what
he
do you
said
say?
about June, he said about June 15th he would feel comfortable
Oh, that's
with.
cool.
So we rented the place. We have it until the 20th of June.
Oh
So
shit!
the only downside of this is the RV will be gone. We're selling it. So if our house is not done by then, I don't know
Hotel.
what we're gonna. Yeah,
Yeah,
hotel or Airbnb.
that's
Yeah,
expensive. Fucking Airbnb is expensive.
I
Fucking
know, but
hell.
we got dogs, right? We got 3 dogs. Some hotels take dogs, but only two.
Fucking hell, bro. That's not good.
And but this guy's pretty straight with me. I don't think he would. I don't think he would fuck with me. And I said,
As long as you tell them why, you're like, you know what? I'm getting rid of this RV, so I'm asking you this question because I'm going to be homeless at the end of June 15th. So I'm asking you, tell me June 15th. I need you to stick with it, you
well, no,
know?
it's the 20th, June 20th or
Or
June
20th.
19th. That's the date. He said for that to not
Oh,
happen would
yeah.
take a major, 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 major kind of fuck up. You know,
And you're like, okay,
um,
Fuentes, don't have a major fuck up.
yeah. So, and that's the other reason that I'm second guessing the plan to rent the house because, well, renting the house is great. I'll love to have the rental house, but I mean, I guess we could. You know what? I guess we could rent the house and leave the RV here and just not live in it. You know, and then
I
turn it
mean,
in
if
June.
I'm like being look, you want to sell the RV so you can make your money back. But at the same time, it's like, why not rent the house? Don't do anything with the RV until you know for sure you move into the fucking new house. So that way, worst case scenario, you're living in this house and then there's a delay with the house that's being built. You just move back into the RV for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's.
Leave
I'm
it right
thinking
the
that.
fuck there.
And I asked the RV people who are selling it. I said, "Does it matter value wise on the RV if I turn it in May or if I turn it in June?" And she said, "No, it doesn't matter."
Oh, fuck. There's your
So,
answer.
so yeah, maybe that would be smartest. I mean, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and clear it out. We'll go ahead and pack it
Sure,
up.
but I mean, it's just a backup fail-safe plan so that you're not stressed. I mean, that's the last thing you need is fucking stress, right? You're in some rental house. There's a 5-day layover until Fuentes says he's going to finish the house, until when you fucking got to get out of this house, move into the other house. It's only a 5-day overlap. It's not a lot. That way,
That's actually a really good idea. And then I'd worry less about our shit because
you could
people
worry
would see an
less
art
about shit. If there's an RV sitting there, then you have the
with a
timer of the lights going on in the RV.
yeah, yeah,
That's what you need to do.
yeah.
All right, Dan. If you got anything else, got anything else? I'm like fading, bro. I'm so
No,
tired
that's
right
okay.
now.
It's actually I was going to say it's probably better to keep these a little shorter. People's attention spans aren't very long. You
Yeah.
know, we normally go over an hour, we're only at 35 minutes or 36 minutes right now, so that's probably good.
I mean, we
Um,
got to get back to the hilarity of what our strength is, which is poo stories and things about food seems to
yeah,
be
I
our
don't have much of
strength.
that. I don't have much of that right now. I mean, poo. Not a lot of poo stories. Um, you know, other
Are
than
you
emptying the
are you still going out to eat with Kara once in a while? Yeah, brunch.
once in a while, yeah, but I am no longer in a position where I can do that often.
That shit is expensive.
Yeah. So, but we get eggs. That's a nice thing. We get free eggs from our chickens.
That's awesome.
Um,
They're the best
and
tasting eggs too. They take like I love fucking eggs. You know what I mean? Like I love eating eggs so much. And when I buy eggs and when I taste egg, you can totally tell the taste and the look, especially the taste of a farm fresh egg rather than like one of these white store bought ones. Like the yolk is a completely different color. Everything tastes different. I
yeah,
love me some fucking fried eggs on toast. I will fucking oh my god, I could eat so many fried eggs. Shit, man. I love fried eggs. So what do you
yeah,
do with the eggs?
I'm not a huge egg guy, but I will eat them.
I love eggs.
Um, but yeah, no, that's nice. And I'm trying to strike a balance of giving myself the time I need to mentally recover, but while keeping sort of my eye out at least a little bit for jobs.
I don't know about that. Give yourself another couple months. Who gives a fuck? I wouldn't be looking for shit for a couple months. You just
Yeah,
had a health scare.
that's
Ain't
what my
going
mother
nowhere.
said. My mom said, wait
Give it a
until you're
couple
in the
months.
house and you're moved in, you know.
You know what? All this shit with the house and moving around is stressful. You're thinking about the house, you get in the RV, you got to move in, the house is going to be finished. That's a lot on your plate as is. That is a lot on your plate for a motherfucker who just had a blood vessel burst in his brain. How about just like ride the whole wave of just getting this house situation worked out? How about this? You wait till the house is done. This is a nice end zone. When the house is done and you moved into the house and you got your desk, then and only then you sit down and you look for a job. Until then, no looking for a motherfucking job.
Is that directly from my sponsor?
That is directly from your sponsor because that's only a couple months. No big deal. What are we at now? We're going into April, March, April. Uh, what are we at right now? March,
April.
April, uh, June, July,
Yeah,
April,
April.
May. All right, March, April, May, June. So, like, yeah, 3 months. Don't look for a job for 3 months. Wait till you get into this new house. And that'll be the thing.
Yeah.
I'm in the house. Everything's done. I can breathe easy. It feels like a nice segue to me looking for work. I don't think you should be looking for work. I don't think you should be looking for work.
All right.
If you listen to your fucking sponsor and not look for any fucking work.
I do listen. Look, your opinion matters to me. I do. But
Oh my god, Dan.
it's a weird position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I mean, it's scary if you're taking your advice from me. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
All right, bro.
All right, we will wrap
I'm
her
gonna
up.
go lie down. I'm gonna sleep till 7 at night and then wake up and get I'm playing more drums, as you know. I got a concert this Wednesday in another Grateful Dead cover band that's playing at a bar.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, but I play bars all the time. It's not a trigger. And yeah, that's going to happen Wednesday. And then the very next day, I load up the car and I drive out to East Jesus and I live in a tent for a month and shit in the bucket.
Ooh.
And it'll be hot, you know. And, but at least I'll be making some art. Actually, this is the only way I make income. I tend to do my best drawings when I'm out there. And those drawings traditionally sell. They do hundreds of dollars. So
Nice.
I don't
I
know
like
what it
it.
is. So I'll do that. Anyway, dude, look, I'm rambling. It's not terribly interesting, but at least
All right,
the
go get some sleep. But and everyone who's been contacting me, we're back. We're on video. No
right, we're
more
back.
perfection.
We're on video. Hebe and Goy show. We're going to be coming at you with some strong comedy content in the very near future, right, Dan?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The train is not going to stop. But
No.
getting you scheduled is, oh, don't ask. Like
You know,
you're willing to do this basically between the hours of
it's a narrow
10
window.
a.m. 10 a.m. Arizona time and like noon Arizona time, and only on Sunday.
For a guy who's got nothing to do all day, all week, it sure is odd that he has such a narrow window,
It
right?
is. It is.
Seems
That's right.
odd.
That's correct.
Okay, bro.
I'm going to share the link of my brain aneurysm podcast in the or on the
Oh,
description of this video.
piggybacking on the
That's
popularity
right.
of the
Well,
Heave and
look,
Goy show. What if
the
I want to do
more
a single podcast of my own?
do
I
it,
have to
do it.
branch
Look,
out.
but I'm trying to raise awareness for a very serious thing.
Well,
So,
I will be
you know,
doing something not serious.
yes. Yes.
I don't know.
All right, we're
All
wrapping it
right,
up.
buddy. Listen. I'm glad everything's good with you, bro. From my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing okay.
And
Physically, I'm
stop
doing
looking for
great.
fucking jobs. No jobs until you move into the house in 3 months. That's it.
I
Your
promise.
sponsor says
I will
so.
I will listen to my sponsor. All right, the
Yeah, sure.
recording is now stopping. See y'all next week.